Carnivorous plants are nature's intriguing predators. They gain energy through photosynthesis, but rely on animals and insects for nutrition. Thriving in nutrient-poor soil, these plants have evolved this unique survival strategy. There are approximately 600 species of carnivorous plants. These extraordinary plants typically consume insects, small amphibians, reptiles, and occasionally mice or rats. In a rare occurrence, a carnivorous plant in the UK recently devoured a bird, marking only the second known instance of such an event in history. The plant in question is a Nepenthes, often hailed as the king of the pitcher plants, and recognized as the world's largest carnivorous plant. These impressive specimens are essentially natural traps, containing up to 3.5 liters of water along with 2.5 liters of digestive fluid. In a rather unfortunate incident, a blue tit met its demise near this plant. It's plausible that the bird was drawn to the plant by the insects that often land on its leaves and subsequently became ensnared. If the bird had leaned in to retrieve an insect floating in the fluid inside, it could have become trapped within the plant's deadly grasp. Similar to how insects are lured in and unable to escape, they are swiftly digested by the plant. While smaller insects, especially ants, make up the staple diet of this plant, the larger ones capture more substantial prey. Remarkably, people have discovered rats partially digested within the plant's pitchers, as well as birds, lizards, and frogs. Venus flytraps are surprisingly small, measuring only about 1/2 foot in length. The elongated, sticky eyelid traps that appear quite long are actually just about 1 inch in size. They can be even creepier than you'd imagine. If by some magical mishap you find yourself transformed into a fly and caught in one of these traps, remember not to panic. Remaining perfectly still is your best strategy. The trap will naturally open the following morning, allowing you to fly free. Struggling will only speed up the digestion process because the more you resist, the more the plant tightens its grip. If you do become trapped, it takes a few days for the plant to digest you, and about a week later, it's ready to catch another insect. Venus flytraps have a lengthy digestion process, so they can't afford to close their traps for debris. To avoid false alarms, these plants will snap shut only if an insect touches 2 different interior hairs within 20 seconds. An intriguing fact is that each time the trap closes, its lifespan is reduced. When you're cautioned not to touch a Venus flytrap, it's not for your safety, as you won't be harmed. However, the plant can only tolerate about 10 false alarms before it perishes. So the next time you encounter one, resist the temptation to poke your finger inside and simply continue on your way. Indeed, the name Portuguese sundew has a charming ring to it. This carnivorous plant thrives in nutrient-poor coastal soils along the coasts of Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, which is why it has evolved to feed on insects. Like many other carnivorous plants, it lures its insects with its sweet aroma and captures them using a sticky substance called mucilage on its leaves. As the insects struggle, they become more entangled and ultimately succumb to suffocation or exhaustion. After trapping its prey, the plant secretes enzymes that dissolve the insects, breaking them down into nutrients. These nutrients are then absorbed by the plant to supplement its diet, helping it thrive in the challenging environment of nutrient-poor soils. Carnivorous plants aren't known for fast movements, but the Australian sundew is an exception. It uses a unique trapping method. The shiny droplets on its leaves look like water, but are actually sticky and deceive insects into thinking they're a water source. When insects touch these droplets, sensitive tentacles swiftly catapult them into the plant's digestive mouth. Once inside, the tentacles guide the prey down to a leaf trap, where enzymes digest the insect into nutrients. This clever strategy helps the Australian sundew thrive by supplementing its diet with captured insects. The cobra lily gets its name from its striking resemblance to the deadly venomous king cobra snake, making it aptly named for its appearance. Often referred to as a devious and cruel plant, it lives up to its reputation as a dangerous botanical specimen. This rare plant is native to cold water bogs in Oregon and Northern California and employs a sweet scent to lure in unsuspecting animals. However, its cruelty lies in its interior, which is filled with numerous see-through false exits, that exhaust and terrify its victims as they futilely attempt to escape. It's like being trapped in a house of mirrors that is, in fact, consuming you. Fortunately, humans are not on its list of prey. Interestingly, scientists have yet to identify the natural pollinators of this plant. Surely some insect must gather its pollen, as without them, it wouldn't exist. The cobra lily remains a mysterious and captivating wonder of nature. In South Africa, there's a unique plant called the Roerdula, and it has an interesting twist. It doesn't digest the insects it captures with its sticky hairs. Instead, it delegates this job to a bug species called the Pamerodia roerdulia, informally known as assassin bugs, with which it has a mutually beneficial relationship. These assassin bugs don't get stuck to the Roerdula leaves because they have a thick, greasy layer on their bodies. When other insects get trapped by the plant, the assassin bugs gather round, stab the prey, and then suck out their insides. It might sound gruesome, but here's where it gets interesting. In return for trapping the insect, the plant receives the waste excreted by the assassin bug. This waste is rich in nutrients that the plant can absorb. It's an unusual but mutually beneficial arrangement in nature. In the wild, the corkscrew plant might confuse you because it doesn't look carnivorous at first glance. It has small, non-meat-eating leaves on the ground to capture sunlight for energy. But its unique corkscrew-shaped roots tell a different story. These roots are long, pale, and act like traps for tiny organisms in the soil. They have a groove that guides these organisms upward, but tiny hairs ensure they can't go back down. Once the prey reaches the base of the plant, it's forced into a chamber where it gets slowly digested. There are around 30 species of corkscrew plants, and they mainly grow in wet areas in Africa and Central and South America. We've got another fascinating aquatic plant here, which is like the aquatic version of the Venus flytrap. These two plants share a common ancestor from way back in the Cenozoic era. What sets this plant apart is its unique trap arrangement, in a circular pattern around a floating stem, giving it the name water wheel plant. It's one of the fastest moving carnivorous plants around, with traps that can snap shut in just 1/100th of a second. Unlike most plants, it doesn't have traditional roots. Instead, it floats on the surface of lakes. To catch its prey, it uses small traps that attract insects. These traps are surrounded by 4 to 6 bristles, each about 6 to 8 millimeters long, to prevent them from accidentally closing due to debris in the water. What's truly remarkable is its global presence. This plant can be found in over 40 countries across 4 continents, from the cold subarctic regions of North Russia to the warmer coasts of Australia. However, it's an endangered species, and its population has been declining over the past century. It thrives in shallow, acidic waters of nutrient-poor swamps. Next up, we have the monkey cup, also known as the tropical pitcher plant. It earned its nickname because monkeys use the pitchers as drinking cups. Although don't worry, these plants are too large to munch on any monkeys. While not as common as Venus flytraps, there are more than 100 species of pitcher plants found worldwide. What sets this plant apart is its impressive size, with pitchers that can grow over a foot tall. This makes it perfect for capturing and digesting not just insects, but also larger prey like lizards and amphibians. The trick is the sweet-scented nectar that lures animals in. Once an unsuspecting victim falls into the pitcher, it can take up to 2 months to digest them. For most species of pitcher plants, this process provides them with the nitrogen they need. However, some like the Nepenthes ampullaria take a different approach. They catch falling leaves, which decompose and release nitrogen, making these particular plants technically not carnivorous, but still a part of the pitcher plant family. Now, who would have thought that plants can eat animals, even birds? These plants truly are wonders of nature and fascinating pieces of art. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.